How are you? Really, how are you? Don't just give me the default response of good or fine. Take a moment to consider how you really feel. Now take a moment to consider the way you talk or think about your emotions. Maybe, I'm so happy, or I'm really mad. Today, we're going to reframe that. The next 7 minutes are about defining your feelings without letting them define you. I'm Shetty. Welcome to the Daily J. Let's start by taking 3 deep breaths. Let's get centered. So breathing in and breathing out. Rising on the inhale and settling on the exhale. Tuning into this moment and embracing this experience. Today's wisdom comes from the mind of an 11-year-old girl. Enter Riley Anderson, the main character from the animated film Inside Out. If you haven't watched it, brief recommendation. Have tissues on hand. It brings up massive feelings in the best possible way. Riley is a 6th grader who loves ice hockey, and her co-stars are 5 personified emotions who live inside her head: joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. And their depictions are just perfect. Anger looks like a red-faced middle manager, short and stocky, and flames shoot out of his head whenever he becomes aggravated. Sadness is blue, obviously, with oversized glasses and a habit of weeping. Joy has a pixie cut and a sparkling green dress. The 5 emotions are constantly arguing inside Riley's mind, wrestling for control of her emotional state. There's this command center with buttons and levers. As the emotions push and pull, Riley's mood swings this way and that. Sometimes when we experience a really intense emotion, it can feel like the emotion is taking over our consciousness. We become our emotional state, as if there's no separation between us and our emotions. What I love about the premise of Inside Out is that it reveals the separation. It encourages us to see our feelings without needing to be our feelings. When you say, "I'm angry," or "I'm sad," I would say, no, you're Chris or Carolyn. You just happen to feel angry at the moment. You see, that emotion, that anger or that sadness, it isn't you. It may be how you feel in an argument, at work, in the car, stuck in traffic, whatever it may be. But the emotion isn't you. So here's a technique I'd like you to try. Every time you catch yourself saying something like, "I'm angry," either out loud or in your head, consciously tell yourself, "I just feel angry. That emotion exists inside me, but that emotion isn't me." This type of self-talk can help us begin to detach from our emotions, to see them for what they are, to manage them, and avoid overwhelm. To be clear, detaching from your emotions does not mean replacing them, or shifting away, or downplaying them. It means creating a little space between you and them, starting to build awareness and acceptance, so you can face your emotions with composure instead of giving up control of the console in your mind. That's what mindfulness is all about. And that's what I'd like to work on today in our meditation. So get comfortable wherever you are and bring your attention to the breath. seeing if you can anchor yourself in this present moment, breathing in and breathing out. Now shift your attention to any emotions you may be feeling. Calmness or stress, joy or frustration. See if you can observe that emotion from a distance, acknowledging its presence, accepting it without judgment, but not latching onto it. It's part of your experience, but it doesn't have to be your whole experience. And now, returning to the breath, let's open this up and reflect on our feelings. Start by picking 2 emotions that you're familiar with. If those emotions were characters in a movie, what would they look like? For me, tranquility might be a cup of tea with a relaxed smile and a really cool hat. Frustration might look like a muddy pair of shoes rolling its eyes. When you experience those emotions, do you stay in control? The next time they try to direct your behavior, can you maybe step back to see them for what they are? Can you remind yourself that the emotion isn't you? Right now, I'm personally feeling both grounded and uplifted, which I know might seem contradictory, but that's how emotions work sometimes. I hope you'll share this session with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for joining me on today's journey. I'll see you tomorrow.